we are back with, I guess this is a new machine tune-up for the Mark II. Had a little moment where I nearly got rid of this for another Sylvia, but yeah, the deal fell through unfortunately. It was for a pretty set up car, Ben Jenkins' old car, which is down the South Island, but the deal fell through and the car ended up getting sold to a buddy anyway, so it's cool that it's coming back up here. I sort of threw it out there to see if there was anything sort of similar anyone was keen to sort of do a deal with, but there's just nothing really out there. Nothing to the level that I sort of want it. Everything that sort of came along would need building, and if I'm going to build anything, I'm going to build the Mark II. So that's what we're here for. So I went to North Shore Toyota yesterday and spent some money, and we have some stuff. Right, we went with this setup, got this for a really good deal through Renee at NST Parts. Absolute legend, he really helped me out with this. So we have a pretty sweet setup. I mean, this 1J stuff's all pretty new to me, it's new to our sort of group of friends, so we're just trying to, what I'm trying to do is build a JZX version of the S chassis recipe that we've sort of figured out over the last few years. So what we have here is the new G30 770. It's effectively the new 3076. So I know a lot of guys will run a 3076 on a 1J and it seems responsive and really top notch, but they had no V-band 3076s in the country, and I really wanted V-band, and to be honest, the G series wasn't really too much more expensive. So yeah, so this has got a 0.61 V-band housing, which it's pretty small, but we, like I say, wanting to get that response on this thing. That's the most important thing. I'm not worried about mad top end, I just want response, and I think this turbo is going to do it. The other reason going for the 770 over like a 3071 or a 76 or a G3660 is if this bottom end ever decides to throw a rod or something like that, chances are I'll do a 2J bottom end, make a 1.5J, and this turbo is more than capable of running a 3 litre. Probably just upgrade the turbine housing to a 0.83, and that would be bang on. So yeah, I'm all pretty excited to see how this turbocharger does on this engine. And obviously Turbo Smart 45mm Hypergate. This is a Gen, what is it, Gen 5, so this is their new one. Actually has water cooling on it, which I probably won't use, but it's kind of cool. And a 6 boost V-band manifold. So this was all in stock at North Shore Toyota NST Parts, which is really cool. So I could go in there yesterday and just pick everything up, didn't have to wait. And with the 6 boost manifold you get this elbow which gets welded on for the wastegate, so one of the boys to sort that out once I get all that mounted in here. So today I'm going to start pulling all this apart. Was planning to drive Matsuri in a few weeks, but probably just can that. I'd rather save that money and spend it on this. Getting well, had a new clutch put in. Brendan Dunker sorted that out for me. It's got a one of his billet flywheels and an XCD single plate organic clutch, which is supposedly good for 400 kilowatts at the wheels, so that should be plenty for what we're trying to achieve with this. So that felt pretty good in the car. Having a car without a slipping clutch at the track was always good. So yeah, gonna start pulling this bad boy apart. thing. This is amazing. Highly recommend. So I've got pretty much everything ready to come off. It's the first time I've ever pulled a turbo set up off a 1J. I've owned a few 1J cars before, but I've never pulled the turbo off. But all of these manifold bolts come off pretty easy, except the one underneath the cylinder 4, sort of right under there. But all the rest come off pretty easy. I think I'm going to have to take the manifold off separately and leave the turbo, and then I can get at the oil lines. There's the water lines here, just feeds off the water neck, and another one down, can't really see, being set down there, feeds into the back of the thermostat, back of the water pump there. So yeah, they just use little rubber hoses and clamps to put on, but the oil feed is sort of buried down in there somewhere. Already got the down pipe off. I've left the dump pipe on, but that's all good. I got the dump pipe off, which is like a decat pipe, so that'll come off pretty easily. But yeah, all in all, pretty easy to work on. Off. Man, the 1J uses a really tiny exhaust port. That's really small. I knew they were small, but I've never seen it in real life, so man, they are tiny. A sideways play, a little bit of up and down. So yeah, seems pretty good. So one stock 1J turbo manifold, J-pipe delete, for sale. So I got the manifold and turbo on there. It's like, it looks big, man. This like compressor housing looks massive. I hope this turbo is going to be spooly, but yeah, pretty easy getting the turbo, all the old stuff off. This intake manifold though, I want to take this top half off. I kind of want to take the whole thing off, to be honest, and give it a good clean up. I want to clean up all the engine bay while we're doing all this work, but yeah, I need to get it off because I need to put some injectors in, and I have no idea how this works, so I might have to look it up online. I'm going to take the throttle body off as well. I might get it cut through here just to eliminate all of this traction control, snow control stuff, because it's not really necessary, so can cut it through here. It eliminates that extra butterfly just in there, but just tidies it up a bit, so we can have a hose clamp straight onto the throttle body there, instead of all this junk on the front as well. So I don't know who's done this and all the ownership of this car, but the coils packs are not, this one here is not even fixed in, that one there is, and that one there is loose as all shit. Man, shocking. Bloody, who was that? Will or Vincent or Ben? Good God. So yeah, man, how do you get these bloody things off? Yeah, this is a real mish getting this friggin' thing off. I've taken off all this stuff down the side just to get at the bolts. There's like a block part which attaches to the intake manifold, the lower part, and then there's a small piece there which you can kind of see where the injectors are all mounted in, and then there is, like, it's a two-piece thing, which I think I knew that, but I'm just going to take the fuel rail out now, because I think I've got to get this wiring loom out of the way to get at everything. So yeah, we'll keep going. Holy hell, man, that is a mission. So all of this wiring, this is the main engine harness and everything else, it's literally snaked through the intake manifold. Like, it's snaked through all of this stuff. So you've got to like get right under and under all the friggin' shit down there, all the knock sensors. It is such an asshole. So I'm gonna, when I put it back, I'm just gonna put it back behind it all, because that's a flipping mission, man. Far out. Anyway, got it off. Give that a clean up. All of that just to clean it. Well, actually no. So got to take the fuel rail off anyway, put new injectors in. So I'm going to go with some 1000cc Expert, which are from Motorsport Electronics something or other. I think they're just a Bosch injector that they mess around with a little bit, kind of like how Injector Dynamics do. But that's what we'll run in this. Got new wheels as well. 57 CRs, ram lights, so they're 18 9.5 front, and if you can see, it's getting pretty dark, 18 10.5 rears, but they're plus 22 all round, which is a little weak. But it fits pretty good with a 25mm spacer on the back and the 30s on the front still. So if I swap over, because I've still got my CR Kais, which I'll use on the rear, they go straight on with that spacer on, and it all works out pretty sweet. So yeah, pretty stoked with these wheels. They're brand new as well. They'd never had tyres fitted. They came up from the South Island. Yeah, friggin' sick. I'm so stoked with these. And I'm black. Probably need to paint the car as well, because no one likes two-tone, to be honest. Alright, we're cracking on with a bit more JZX stuff. This has been a few weeks, I guess, between the last bit of footage that you've probably seen. We've managed to get everything pretty tidy in the engine bay. It was pretty grimy and gross, but we've me and Ash and Joe gave it a good scrub up last weekend. Gave the engine a good clean. It was really grimy through the valley there, and all the head and stuff was all gross. I think there might be one of the seals might be a little bit worn or something on maybe the rocker or something, but looking pretty good, a lot better than it did before. We've stripped out a bunch of stuff, pulled out a bunch of stuff underneath here as well, deleted the oil heater setup, so it has water running through this pipe to this thing where it's like a, where is it, that thing, oil filter attaches to that and then runs back in here. So got this piece of pipe just to loop that through, and this union adapter here, so I can run the sandwich plate. And I actually got a sandwich plate off Franklin Engineering, but it didn't, the adapter that screws into that didn't actually fit through the sandwich plate, so I had to send it back. I think they've sent me the wrong 3/4 UNF adapter thingy. So yeah, just gonna run a oil filter straight off that sandwich plate, because there's actually quite a bit of room to access it now. Straight up there, thrown it underneath. Also deleted the aircon. Put this Tarks aircon delete bracket in. Everyone's giving me shit about deleting the aircon, but this car's heading more towards a mostly track car now, anyhow, so I'm not really too fussed about AC. I've kept all the bits anyway if I want to ever chuck it back in, which probably will happen. Got a real mess going on in here. Sucks in this tiny garage, but got a few fittings for the turbocharger to plumb that up, water lines and all that kind of stuff. I've got the R35 coil kit as well from Tarks, which is pretty nice. It's got this billet bracket down here which they all mount to. So these are Hitachi R35 coils. They're not genuine Nissan, but they're all the genuine Nissan ones are made by Hitachi, so that's all good. So I've got some gaskets. I got some new gaskets from NST. So I want to get the inlet manifold all mounted up if I can. I got to give them a bit of a better clean up. They're still like a bit spotty and black, so I wouldn't mind getting those in. And I've got these as well. So these are the injectors that I'm using from Motorsport Electronics. These are 1170s. So a little bigger than I was anticipating using, but they ran at 1000cc one, so I just got the 1170s. He did them for the same price, which was pretty sweet. Turbo Smart fuel pressure reg. I've got oil line made up at Key West by Phil, and he hooked us up with the Speedflow oil fitting to the block. Got a, you can kind of see down there, a 10-10 oil drain, which mounts down there to the upper sump. So yeah, getting things moving.